Right, today's video I'm going to be replacing my very famous Microsoft Strategic Commander that I've had pretty much now for 10 plus years. This actually isn't the original one that I owned. I've gone for about 4 of these. Now, the best thing about this is it had 24 programmable buttons, so it was great for playing MMO/MOBA games. But unfortunately, it's outdated. The technology, the switches, it's just not up to par anymore. It's pretty bad. As you can see, I mean, that may sound alright, but that sounds clunky. It's really, it's just old. It's gone. It's served me well. But now we're going to be looking at replacing it with a Scimitar RGB Elite Corsair mouse that is specifically designed for MMO/MOBA games, as it comes with a 12-button key slider that is adjustable for your own certain grips. So yeah, without further ado, let's unplug the sidwinder, let's unbox this, take a look, have a look at the software included, and let's see about it. Let's go. So one thing before I go opening the Corsair mouse here, the reason why I'm doing another unboxing video is I actually did a GT Player chair build, the one I'm actually sitting on right now. It is on my YouTube channel, and I wasn't expecting probably over 200 views, and at the moment it's standing at 6,000 views. So thank you to everyone who's watched that video and engaged in the comment sections, as honestly I was shocked to see how much engagement it got. I've had a lot of people asking, is the chair good, some recommendations, and with that being said, I thought, well, you know what, I'll do another unboxing video. This one's only going to be a small one. It's more for a personal reason, as not a lot of people are going to be comparing a mouse to this, or maybe they are, I don't know. But yeah, I just want to unbox this on a YouTube video because, well, the last one worked, so let's see how this one goes. Let's open this thing up. I don't want to ruin the box because it's actually a pretty neat looking box, and for the first time in my life, I'm actually hoarding boxes. Anything I buy that's PC related, I'm actually keeping the boxes. My missus is going to love me when we move into our own house, that's for sure. Right. First time opening this beauty. I have actually watched a few videos on this before, so I actually know what it looks like already. But yeah, let's go. Right. So the best thing about this mouse, it's got a max DPI of 18,000. And oh, I'm already dropping the instructions, guys. It comes with about 17 plus programmable buttons as well, with the key slider that we're going to go through in just a minute. I believe it has 4 RGB light modes, or maybe 3. I think it's 3 or 4. It's got a very light weight to it. A lot of people compare this particular Corsair mouse to be a bit cheap compared to the other ones. It doesn't feel as bulky, doesn't feel as heavy really, but I think it's lighter just due to some, I don't know, manufacturer changes, because it doesn't need to be heavy because it's literally designed for MOBA players. The other ones have got quite a lot of weightedness about them. I don't know much about mouses, but I'm guessing it's just designed for certain things, you know, weighted mouses for different games and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to mouses, not even gonna lie to you. So the first thing that I recognize is it is quite light. It's you can see it here. It's very it doesn't look cheap in my opinion. It looks very neat. Nice clicks. At the moment, I am actually using a Logitech G502 optical mouse. Now, don't get me wrong, this mouse is okay, but the wheel just feels a bit clunky to me at times. Maybe that's just because it's worn out a little bit. But as well, the grip with the Logitech, my pinky sits very close to my ring finger. It doesn't feel stretched out. The thing with this actually is a bit wider for a mouse. So my pinky is going to be sat very nicely on the end there. It's not going to be touching my ring finger. Compared to the other one, my ring finger is very close, and it just doesn't feel comfortable for me. So the main key benefit from this mouse, as you can see, is a MOBA/MMO gaming mouse. It has a 12-button slider key. This is really neat, and this is the reason why I ordered this mouse, because the sidewinder that I've got at the moment has 24 plus programmable buttons. This has 17 plus, so I am going to have to be using the keyboard now. Yeah, I'm going to have to get used to using keybinds when playing an MMO. Now, some of you are thinking, why aren't you using a keyboard already? That's ridiculous. That's crazy. I just never have. I've never really got along with using keyboard. When I was a young kid, my dad got me into World of Warcraft, and he had 2 of these sidewinders. So he just lent me his other one. I was like, here, just use this. It's easier. And that's just how I got attuned to playing WoW. So now I've got to, get used to using WASD and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. With the mouse as well, the best thing about it is the cable, actually. This is pretty neat. It's braided, very long compared to my other mouse cable, actually. The other mouse cable is quite short. This is really, really long. I actually just want to undo that, see what it's like. It comes with a little screwdriver of sorts. I wonder what that is for. I say screwdriver, it's just basically like an Allen key. I'll tell you what that might be for, just out of interest. There you go. So the 12 button key slider is actually adjustable for your own grip, because obviously not everybody might not want it at the back here. So in order to move that, this Allen key, you just go to the bottom of the mouse, pop it in, you can turn it to loosen it up just like that, and I believe, yeah, you can move the slider backwards and forwards to adjust to your own grip to see what's comfortable. Me personally, yeah, I'm probably going to have it right at the front so I can bring... I don't like bringing my thumb back. I'd rather put my thumb forward than back. So if I have the slider all the way at the back... Yeah, no, I just like that forward. I'm going to just tighten that forward. That's pretty neat. That's actually not bad. This is really, really light. Like, it feels cheap. I can see what people are saying. It does... It has the weight to make it feel cheap, but you know what I mean? It's not going to be cheap. It's a Corsair mouse after all. But yeah, like, this is... pretty nice, pretty nifty. The one thing that I'm definitely going to have to get used to when using this mouse is having 12 buttons on the mouse rather than just having roughly around 5 with the Logitech that I've got. The one thing that I think I'm definitely going to like the most is the texturedness of this keypad, which outlines the columns in their own. So you got obviously 1 to 3, then you got 7 to 9. These are all separate compared to the other two here. These are like textured platforms, so you can actually differentiate between the buttons, which is going to be quite neat. So you're not just having like 1 to 12 all the same texture, so you're not going to get confused. So that's pretty nice. Little touches like that make the difference when you've got a mouse like this. It's got a very nice rubbered texture on the outside, so when you rest on your hand, like I said, that's where it's so wide that my pinky actually feels like it's got its own place to like sit now, which is very nice. Yeah, like, I mean, there's not much else to say about the structure of the mouse. It's got a braided cable, a very nice adjustable. I mean, the Allen key itself, when you're actually loosening and tightening this slider, once it's tight, it doesn't move. Like, that's good. That's solid. So, no worries about that. Obviously, over time, the more you wear the mouse out, that could obviously be an issue. But wait, that's wear and tear. That's going to be standard. But as it stands, pretty nice, pretty neat. I want to plug this thing in, and let's get to the software, and let's actually have a look at that. That's the main thing, because we want to see how we program this. So yeah, let me plug it in. Let's have a look at the software, guys. Have a look at the software. Okay then, so this is the software for the Corsair devices. It is called iQ. You can find it on the website. I have actually had a little play around with this. Don't get me wrong, I'm no pro at software like this. So I'm just going to go through the sort of basics of it so you can see what actually it comes with and how it would work. At the top, you've got home, dashboard, and instant lighting. The instant lighting does exactly what it says on the tin. So at the moment, I've got it clicked as red. So all the functions that can light up with RGB on the mouse are currently at red. And if I obviously click orange, it will go orange. You can actually create your own lighting with the lighting effects panel here. So you can actually control certain zones and have them in certain colors, maybe you wish. The cool one is the action page. This is obviously where most of the action, most of the action is going to take place on your mouse. You're going to change the function of most of things. So you can basically just click the plus sign, and it will allow you to change the functions of like the right click, middle click, the profile switch, and the DPI toggle button. The neat thing is so easy to go through. So say, for example, we want to change the function of key binding 1. The keypads over here are for the actual slider itself. So if I was just to click number 1, it comes over to this little screen, and you can basically click the drop-down menu, and you can set a text. You could put a media, so if you want to play songs or you're doing some recording. You can actually put launch applications. You can have certain applications designed for a certain button. Profile switching as well, if you want to put it as that button in case you don't want it on top and you want to use that for something else. The one that I'm obviously going to be using it for is for sort of like the A to Z keys, because obviously I'm playing an MMO, so I'm going to have it on there. Or even the number and symbol keys. Who knows, I might even put it as the function keys, F1 to F12, because I currently use them at the moment, so I might just keep it as that. But yeah, you can design and function the key sliders how heavy you want it to be. It's got quite a lot of creativity you can have with that one. You got numeric keypad as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff you can do with that. I'm gonna have to play around with that later, set my key bindings appropriately to see what I find comfortable. I may have a shift key designed to maybe 1 or 3 where I can use that as my shift and actually use that for the keyboard as well. Like, I don't like using my pinky for shift on the keyboard. I know a lot of people have that feeling as well. Sometimes people have tab as their shift. I'm going to need to keep tab for when I'm playing World of Warcraft specifically as a game. I like to have that as tab still so I can change target very easily. It's quite quite quick, you know, but I just don't like having that pinky on shift. It kind of throws my grip off guard. Like my muscle memory just isn't used to like that at all. So I think if I was to have 1 or 3 set to shift, I think I could get you know, attuned to that. So that was actions. You got lighting effects that we've had a look at already. You got hardware actions, which is pretty much the same thing, but I think these are like profiles. I have to actually like really dabble into this, but I think it's like profiles you can actually set, so you can just click certain ones. Hardware lighting, I think, is pretty much the same thing as when it comes to the lighting effects, but you can actually, I think maybe lighting effects is when you do certain button presses. Maybe hardware is where you're actually clicking things and how, like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have to have, like I say, I'm no pro at software. I'm going to have to have a look at this and actually, like, maybe watch a YouTube video myself to see what that is all about. The DPI is the cool one. It's actually got sniper mode. So you can actually set a new mode. So say, for example, you know, we got 3 modes already currently set. So if I was to click another one here and got DPI mode 5, you can actually set this one to sniper. You can take all these ones down to give them no DPI and have this one as sniper. Now, if you had it in sniper mode, you would not have it at 18,000 DPI because that would be nuts. I would probably bring it down to something like, say, 400 or something. I think 400, between 400 and 600 for sniper mode. So you can designate that as a function on your key slider. So if you're playing games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, if you don't fancy using the top 2 buttons as like your DPI toggles, because obviously you don't want to flick through 5 different modes, you can just set maybe 1 to 3. For example, 3, you click it, it instantly puts you back to like a 400 DPI, and then maybe you could have 1 set back to like your, you know, your standard DPI that you would use on a regular basis rather than sniper mode. You can have a different RGB lighting effect for it as well, so your lighting on the mouse will change, so you'll know when you're in sniper mode. So that's pretty neat, and that's the green thing that you see here. So at the moment, if I change the sniper mode to, I don't know, say blue, and then was to ramp that up, maybe it will change. I don't know if I'm doing it right on the software to actually get it. Maybe I've got to set it to a key function in order for that light to actually change, because, yeah, probably. The one thing that I did like is the surface calibration. So everybody's got different mouse mats, whether it's a steel mouse mat, using a wooden table. Some people actually do that. I'm using a standard mouse mat myself. So you can actually collab your device to the surface you're using, so it picks up on the speed it needs to be. So all you do is you just pick up the little the yellow dot, move it around, get that speedometer in the green section, and it'll say collaboration process is complete. Your mouse is now adjusted to the surface that you're using. That's pretty nice. Yeah, pretty standard stuff, really. Like I say, I'm going to go through the software and actually have a little play around myself. Like I say, the best thing for me personally is the wideness of the mouse, the actual structure. The Logitech is very slim mouse. If you've got very big hands, the G502, your hands just don't particularly sit well on it. The Corsair, very bulky. So your hand sits very nicely on it. You can use your thumb very nicely on the keypad. Yeah, it's designed well for bigger hands, in my opinion, not the Logitech. I mean, that's obviously not gonna be like a recurring issue with a lot of people, but that's just how I see it. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to do, really. Unbox the mouse. It's gonna be weird using mouse. Like I say, this thing here has served me well for countless years. Countless years. I have literally played WoW ever since it came out, and I've used nothing ever but this. So this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna be a monkey again. I'm gonna be a Mythic Keystones, going, oh, like crap, like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to get used to a whole new way of playing. So that's gonna be new for me. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna keep this thing on the side though. I can't bin this thing. I can't. This thing is just too much of a memorabilia for me. I'm gonna keep this. Actually, one little thing I will say is a really advantage thing of getting rid of this thing. More space on the desk. I'm very minimalistic when it comes to my setup, and this thing just took up a lot of space on the left. So I'm going to have a lot more room on the desk now. That's going to be pretty neat. So that's actually another positive I can look at. And it gets quite dirty. This thing gets quite dirty. Obviously, when you're playing games for hours on end, a lot of dead skin comes off. I know that sounds gross, but it's true. The buttons have quite a lot of gaps in between them, and a lot of gunk builds up in this thing. It's not pleasant. It's yeah, it's old designed. It served me well, but it's time to put this at rest. And it's time to join the rest of the world with the Corsair mouse and see if I can actually get used to it. So with that, guys, if you want to see me streaming on Twitch throughout the week, I do stream 12 PM most days on Monday to Friday. Link will be in the description box below. Like and subscribe to this channel. I know this video probably isn't the best. It's probably nothing compared to my other one, but it's a start. I'm going to keep doing more of these videos and get better at them. So yeah, with that, guys, stay fancy, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later. Okay, I've got two things to say. Two things to say. If that is going to turn into a redemption story for Sylvanas, that is it. I'm done. I will be fucking livid. That is a cliffhanger and a half.